So I was a sales manager for years, like Al said, for radio and TV stations, mainly with WTOP, which is a news station, WASH, which is a soft rock music station, and also it's out there with WABA, which is a Christian station. And my role, in all my years in media sales, I used to meet with clients from all types of businesses, from all types of industries, everything from plumbers to car dealers to Lockheed Martin to Boeing to McDonald's to Coke to Pepsi, and we discuss marketing plans and strategies and things like that. So I had to position myself as a consultant who was knowledgeable not only about radio but all mediums, because I wanted to position my company as the one they came to when they were planning things and they needed information. So I had to be armed with the latest information, the latest technology and everything. So my background prepared me to consult with a lot of different businesses in terms of how to sell their products and things. So I actually wrote a book called Selling God's Way, right? Because of all the people I met with, the most important person I probably met with in all my life who taught me about sales was my grandfather, who taught me. I started selling when I was 7 years old in the streets of Gary, Indiana, selling eggs. So he would take me around as we sold eggs, and he would explain to me how to sell, and also he would tell me about God and faith and the principles. So I combined those two things with a book called Selling God's Way. And so this is about finishing strong. And one of the things I used to say as a sales manager is we all spend too much time talking to each other. And then we need to spend more time talking to clients and understanding clients. Because people think they're working. I used to say we think we're working, but we're sitting around and talking to each other. We're not really working. We're not really working until we sit down and talk to clients, either face to face or on the phone. That's where really real work and real progress takes place. So today I'm going to talk about meetings. Okay? Does everybody have a handout?
Yes, thank you.
I've been trying to leave some time in case you guys have any questions you want to ask me. Okay? I was here about about 7 to 9 months ago. I talked about a fundamental problem I saw with most businesses. They didn't understand who their target market was. Some people would say, well, everybody's my customer, or everybody in Northern Virginia is my customer, or everybody who does business with automobile dealers. But that's not true. One of the fundamental things you learn in marketing in the MBA program is that everybody has a target market, and what I call the angelic customer profile. So on the first page, here I use the scripture from Matthew 10:11 to 14. He talks about whatever town or village you enter, search for someone worthy. So we all have to find these worthy people who are our target market. And they can be described in different ways, demographically, in terms of age, income, geographically in terms of where they live, but also more importantly, psychographically and economically. How much money do they have? How much potential money do they want to have? What is their buying habits? What is their lifestyle like? So there's many factors. I think in my book, I list about maybe 90 different things you look at in determining who is your target market and coming up with your angelic customer profile. Okay? And then once a lot of this is about melting our sales process into their buying process. And so once we identify, we'll move to the second page. So once you identify who your target market is, and you develop a list of who your target market is, you need meetings. Okay? And as it says in the previous verse in Matthew 10:11 through 14, that you prepare a greeting once you find somebody worthy. And so once you identify that, you prepare a greeting. You prepare to greet your prospect in a number of different ways. And I list some ways here, and this is not an exhaustive list, but it's a good list to start with. Websites, which page can help you with, internet searches, current customers, referrals, social media networks. You prepare. You know what your target market is like, and so you're preparing to meet them when they come to these places. Okay, business network meetings, seminars. Okay, but the important thing is, how does your customer want to be? How does your customer want to connect? So many times I see people. I even talk to people, and they say they want to do blogs. Well, if your customer doesn't read blogs, then why are you doing blogs? If your customer wants to approach you, then why are you sending emails out? If your customer might detest emails, If you're, why are you phone calling people? And this is a product that they want to, they want to select you. It's something you're going to get on referrals. So you just have to understand. I mean, I put a list here of, and I want everybody to kind of write down how your customer wants to connect with you. How does your customer want to set up a meeting? Okay. And throughout my book, I mean, since we're all Christians, and my book is called Selling God's Way, so everything I do, I have a scripture, a biblical principle that I can apply to it. And this one is 1 Corinthians 10:23-24, which is right there at the top, which summarizes, no one should seek their own good, but the good of others. What's good for your customer? What makes them comfortable? So I just want you to write down a few things of how your customer wants to be. I know in banking, our customers want to come into us. They don't want us calling them. They want to come into us and say, hey, listen, I have like $1 million. What am I supposed to do? I want to open a business. What am I supposed to do? They don't want us to call them and say, something. Now we do advertising, and the advertising there's a way you can do advertising that's not intrusive and make it relevant. But that's a whole new meeting. Actually, that previous list, I mean, I could have a whole meeting on each one of those approaches: websites, business networks, traditional media, how to use it. But the important thing is that we understand who our target market is and how they want to be approached. How we can seek their good, not the good of ourselves. Okay. And then I use Matthew 7:9-10. Which of us, if your son asks for bread, will give him a stone, or if he asks for a fish, will give him a snake? So this, let me go around the room. Everybody just give me one way that customers want to meet. Start with Robin, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, how do your customers want to meet you?
Well, because I don't know them, the only way to meet them is through direct mail or telephone call.
Right. So you may have to survey in order to find out how your customers want to meet. If you think the only way is direct mail and survey, and that may be true.
I don't know them.
Yeah.
I don't have a storefront.
Right. So that would be an awful, I could talk to you about 30 minutes on how you find out, how you identify who your target market is. And then once you identify your target market, you kind of look at their lifestyle and look at how they approach the competition and how the competition gets customers, because that can give you insights as to what you can do. And you,
Alyssa. So a lot of my clients want to meet through an information exchange. Is that?
okay.
So it could be in person or it could be online, but they want information about the housing market or how to buy, how to sell.
They approach you and they request information?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people want to know how do you do this.
Okay, all right. Okay, so that's one of the things I had walk up. When they walk up. You, look at your name.
Aaron?
Yeah.
Got it. Schedule times when their business isn't busy.
Okay.
They meet me through referrals, and then I always like to talk to them over the phone and ask them questions. So it's very personal.
Right.
Because I'm very visual business. I have a very visual business, so then I have to show them, photographs. But I usually have them come to my studio and meet. And
So
we'll
referrals
discuss the
and
second
phones.
time.
Yeah. Referrals are great. Great thing. Referrals are great, but as I've told people for years, it's the best form of advertising, but it's also the slowest. So it takes time, but you keep at it. Young man over there. Okay.
We meet people through phone calls and texts as well as referrals, because we always have to go out to meet a customer at their home.
So if your customer wants to use your service, they'll call you?
Yes.
Yeah, now how do they find your number?
We get referrals.
Okay.
We also have a website.
Okay, right. So that helps. So if somebody refers them, they can go to your website and get your number. Okay. Sharma?
Phone calls and referrals.
Okay, good. So now how would they get your number though?
I call them
Okay,
because I reach out to people,
okay,
and then based on the conversation with them, I'll turn to a face-to-face meeting.
Right.
Because I like to see people when I'm doing business with them.
Okay.
And
Do
they
you
can
have
see
warm
me.
calls, or are they cold, or are they
Warm,
warm?
warm, doing warm calls.
So how do you qualify your warm calls?
People I know,
Okay.
people I meet.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Right, so you build a network and then you make
Yes.
the call as warm as possible?
As warm as possible,
Right,
yes.
right. Good, good, good. Just, it's everything, just make sure that's how your customer wants to connect. It
Mhm.
sounds like you're successful at that, great.
Mary.
Mary, go ahead, Mary.
Seminar,
Okay,
followed up with a one-on-one
good,
and telephone conversation.
good, good, good. So, yeah, great, great. So, you,
Face-to-face, also seminars, and the website.
okay, now face-to-face, how does that work? Do you call somebody and get a meeting or do you?
Usually at an event or seminar or something
Okay.
like that, and then by referrals.
Okay, all right. So,
And Mike, we have a question.
oh, sure.
Good question.
What's the warm call?
What's no, what about a warm call?
A warm call is, a cold call is when you call somebody cold, like I would call Robin. I don't know anything about her, I want to sell her something, advertising. A warm call is I know Robin, I've met her before. So the more you know about a person and what they do, the warmer the call can be, okay? So you want every call to be as warm as possible. So sometimes you may have to do some research about a company or a person before calling them and sort of understand what their needs and their priorities are. And then when you call, I can say, you do websites, okay? I know, page. I understand you do websites, I also understand you do a Christian network. Now keep in mind, I've never talked to her before, but I understand you attend these the luncheons for the Trusted Compass, and my name is Michael, and I'd like to, so it's better than just saying, I want to sell you advertising, So, you follow me? A warm call is the more information you have, the warmer the call, okay? Okay, gotcha. Any other questions? Okay. Now the next thing is you want to consider your customer's buying process. I mean, everybody goes through. This is a marketing spectrum that every customer goes through. Sometimes it's referred to a lot of different things. I still use the old acronym AIDA. People go through awareness, interest, desire, action, and you have to be prepared to meet your customer when they're through in each one of these stages. Today, remember, we're talking mainly about the awareness stage, how they become aware of you, and preparing a proper greeting. And but be prepared to meet with your customer through any stage. I mean, when they're becoming interested, Charmaine, you said you meet them and then you have a face-to-face, so that they're in the interest stage.
Yeah.
So then, so you
Yes.
be prepared to meet them and talk to them and discuss what their needs are and find out what their priorities are, where their pain points are, and what they see as the opportunity. Okay. And also consider things like the hammock versus the hamburger, okay? I just put that in. I mean, if somebody buys a hammock, if I'm gonna buy a hammock, I may shop the internet, I may go to Lowe's, I may consult with a friend, I may do research. I'm a hamburger, I feel like I'm hungry. My needs are mainly physical. So my time at each stage is different. So, I become aware that somebody sells hammocks. I become interested in hammocks, I do hammock research, and I have desire, that means I have the money, and then I finally take action. I go to a place, maybe I go to 2 or 3 places. But a hamburger is just a different process. So think about what you sell and think about the stages people go through and the time at each stage of awareness, interest, desire, and action, depending on what you sell. Okay? Does anybody have any questions about that? If you want, I can give you an example.
Yeah, consider each stage, I understand mentally, emotionally, spiritually, explain that.
Okay, so spiritually, what that means is that, sometimes people are self-serving and greedy, okay? Which are things that actually the Bible speaks against, self-serving and greedy. So they may want this at all costs because of what they see. So spiritually, they may neglect, what's wise for their family or something. Somebody may buy a fancy car. They're not operating really in the spirit. They're operating in the flesh. Okay. And then somebody may want to buy a car. They consider their family and everything and their kids and So there's more of a spiritual consideration when they go to make a purchase. And I'm using the purchase maybe. Forgive me if anybody here has a Corvette or a sports car, but your motivations to buy a Corvette or a sports car may be different than your spiritual motivations than buying a minivan.